And good morning, people. Welcome back to Suikoden 4. I'm on a boat. Well, ship to be exact, if you really have to use the maritime term. But last time we started the game and got introduced to our three main sources of combat in this playthrough. The large ship battles, our regular fights against monsters, and the one-on-ones. We'll be seeing a lot more of each of those in the future. As for people, we've got the aide to the commander over there, who has gone back to his ship. Because, well, a captain doesn't leave his ship if it's still sailing, does it? Does he? We've also got Jewel here. She's our white-haired fighter. Tao, who is always hungry. And we have Kenneth, whose rune cannon skills helped ensure us victory over the commander's ship at the very start of the game. And it looks like he knows that Razriel is in sight. Razriel is the island where we are going back to. It is where we are from. See, there it is. And there's a look at our boat for a little bit. There is one more of our crew that we haven't seen yet, but she's currently doing something else. But yes, we are graduating from being trainees, and tomorrow these characters are going to be knights. Knights of the Gaian Military Academy. But apparently Snow's not worried at all. But yeah, now all we need to do is just talk to, I believe Jewel is our next person. What our duties will be. It could be anything. Oh no, it's Tao we need to speak to. Yeah, Paula. Not in her usual spot. And apparently she's an elf. Who likes being a loner. Well, not really. She likes to hang out with Jewel quite a lot. And yeah, today is the kindling ritual as well, which marks the end of the academic year for the knights. And Snow is representing this batch of trainees, this batch of graduates. And Jules making fun of Snow, because she does that quite a lot actually. So, let's go home, shall we? And yeah, Tao's still hungry. So here we are at Razriel, the Hall of Knights, or the outside of it at least. So we're off to the hall to listen to Commander Glenn's speech. We'll go there in just a moment, but first let's look at a few things. The menu, the main menu. On the right you can see the characters currently equipped onto the party. Well, currently in the party. You can't say they're equipped to the party, can you? Well, you could. Oh, we'll get to that another time, I guess. But main character and Snow are currently there, both level 1. You don't get any experience for the fight against the Commander and Katrina, because that fight actually never ends. You can't actually win that fight, but you can't lose it as well. In the bottom right we have the time currently taken in this game. I don't believe that counts time in battle. So yeah, I'm not 100% certain, but I don't think it counts. And we also have our money, which is 200 currently, and the denomination in this game is Poch. Poch is going to be very important. On the left we have our options. We have items. Currently I only have 10 medicine. I don't have anything else. That will increase as time goes by. Runes. This is where you can use magic if you so require. Snow has the water rune, which at the moment gives kindness drops. That's the only magic we've currently got available. We will get more. There is a lot of magic in this game. Equipment. Currently I don't really have a lot. But one thing I am going to do, because Snow has quite decent equipment, I'm going to remove everything he's got and give it mostly to the main character, because he is going to need it a lot more than Snow is. I'm not going to not give Snow anything, but yeah. Some characters cannot equip certain items, like the main character cannot equip a shield. Some cannot use heavy armor, some cannot use mage armor. It all depends on the way their character is based. I believe there's a number of different classes. There's heavy, medium, light, mage, archer, quite a few different classes, and they all use their own different equipment set. Some equipment pieces do cross over between classes, but some don't. Some are exclusive to characters. I do know that the main character has at least 3 or 4 sets that only he can wear. I believe Snow has a couple that only he can wear as well, actually. Formation. This is where you can set up where your characters are in the formation of the battle. So I believe the number 1 slot is the far left, and the number 4 slot down the bottom is the far right. Status. This is where you see pretty much everything about your character. Hit points should be fairly easy enough to understand. That number goes to 0, your character goes unconscious. Everyone's HP goes to 0, game over. MP. MP in this game isn't a sort of total. You don't use a certain amount of MP for casting a spell. In this, it's a very simple calculation. 1 spell equals 1 point. However, only certain points can be used. So let's go Snow. He had Kindness Drops, which is a level 1 spell. He can only use level 1 MP on it. So he currently has 1 Kindness Drops available to use. I believe that number goes up to 8 in total. Level 2 goes up to about 4 or 5. 3 goes to 2 or 3, and 4 only goes up to 1, except on the major mage characters, which might get 2 at higher levels. Level 1 magic can only be used by level 1 MP, level 2 by level 2 MP, level 3 by level 3 MP, and level 4 by level 4 MP. So yeah, and as you can probably guess, the higher the level, the more effective it usually is. Doesn't always work out that way. It sometimes is more effective to use the lower level ones than the higher level ones. I'll show a few examples of that later once we actually find it. We'll find some more magic. Level. What level your character is. Experience. Experience is odd in this game. You have a number from 0 to 1000. Sorry, 0 to 999. If the number ticks over to you get 999 and you get 1 more, so let's say you get 1000 experience for 1 fight for any fight, you will get a level. It will then revert back to 0 and then start again. Enemies give progressively less experience as you go up in levels, so usually it's halved. Sometimes it's not though. So in one fight you get, let's say, 300 experience. In the next fight you might get between 150 and 200, and for the next level. And in the next when you're, let's start there again. So level 1 you get 300 experience for 1 enemy. When you're level 2, that same enemy will give you 150 to say 200. When you're level 3, that number will again drop to 100 to 150s, let's say. And level 4 it will drop even further, level 5 again. I believe the minimum amount of experience you can get from any fight is 5. So if you want to fight weak enemies and you get 5 experience each time, you will get and you will need 200 fights to get a level. Yeah, that's not exactly a fun time. However, because of the way it works out, it is actually a very good way to catch people up on levels, which is something I'll be showing a lot later. Main character also has 15 attack, 14 defense at this moment in time. Attack and defense is usually based on what equipment you have. Attack is the strength total in the bottom. As you can see, we've got stats: strength, skill, magic, evasion, physical defense, magical defense, speed and luck. Strength is the amount of damage you do, skill is the amount of times you can hit, magic is damage with magical attacks, evasion is evading attacks, physical defense and magical defense shouldn't really need explaining, speed is how quickly you go in a turn, and luck is how often you critical. Back to attack power, strength is one of the modifiers. The second one is on this second screen here, which is weapon power. As you can see, it's 12 plus my free strength equals 15 attack. Usually the calculation for doing damage is attack minus defense equals damage dealt. I do believe. So the higher your attack, the better it goes. And also the higher the defense of the enemy, the better it does at defending your normal attacks. Currently I have a training sword 1, which has a weapon level of 1. Weapons have levels more than... You don't buy weapons per se. What you do is you spend money to upgrade your weapons. I believe the max weapon level is 16. And that takes a lot of potch, so we are going to need a lot of it. And that will increase your weapon power. That, along with your strength total, which you get from levels, will increase your damage output. Rune pieces, we'll get into that later, that's a bit more complex. And current equipment. You will see there's a head, right and left. If we go to Snow, he's got a water rune on his left hand, on his right hand, sorry. That is where you place your runes. The main character has a empty slot on his right hand, so we will be able to put a rune there later. I'll deal with that when it comes to it. But that's the main menu. And now we can actually go and do a few things. But first, this is our run speed. It's not exactly quick, is it? This is probably the first problem with the game. Because you run really slowly, it takes quite a while to get somewhere. You can speed it up by pressing the right one button, but although it does do a bit more, get you somewhere a bit quicker, it's still very slow compared, especially when you get to the very, much larger areas. This speed will not really be adequate. There's that way, which we can't go yet, because, well, we need to go and see the commander, so let's go and do that, shall we? Well, I say that, but we're not going to. Not exactly straight away. Because we're going to go and peel for things. We're going to go into this audience chamber hallway first. And open this chest. For Old Book Volume 9. Right now we can't do anything with that. It's, I believe, a other item. Yeah. Can't read it as it is. We'll be able to deal with that later, but right now it's just going to sit in our inventory for quite a long while actually. We're not going to be making use of it for quite a bit. The other place we're going to go is in the main character's room, because in here there's a steam bun and a water orb. So I've got another water rune available. Steam bun, bit of a better heal than a medicine, so that's useful. Although a medicine is a severe overheal at the moment, so steam bun is even more so. Sealed orbs, water orb, an orb holding the water rune. So when I get the chance, I'll be able to place that onto a character. There is a first person view if you want to use it, but you can't move while you're in it, so it doesn't really matter. There are hidden items around, but I can't remember where most of them are. Apart from 2 right at this moment, which I am going to be picking up because they are missable. Anyways, let's go and talk to the Katrina to say we're late. Oh well, let's go and listen to Commander Glenn.
All of you here today will officially be assigned to Gaian's one and only band of knights. In other words, your long days of training are now over. For now, I will talk of my experiences. It was 7 years ago, on the seas of our enemy nation, Kuluk. 4 of our knight ships were decimated by just one Kuluk vessel. It was a bitter battle. Many of my men paid the ultimate price. Most of you probably know this much. But no one wants to talk about what happened next. Why? Because it reminds us of the humiliation we suffered at the hands of a certain man. The commander of that enemy fleet was a man named Troy. Back then, Troy was not much older than those of you here right now. But even Gaian's veteran knights were unable to inflict a single scratch on that young man. You must all strive to become knights even greater than Troy. Do you understand? Such a humiliating experience must not be repeated. I have trained you with this intention in mind. I trust that you will all live up to my expectations. The fate of Gaian is in your hands. That is all. Congratulations, graduates!
Starting tomorrow, your duty will be patrolling the neighboring waters. In other words, guard duty. Do your best, and do not let your guard down. Also, your official equipment is still in production. We will contact you when it is complete.
So, we are now knights. And apparently 7 years ago there was a bit of a battle with Kuluk. Well, I'm pretty sure it won't be a problem now. It was 7 years ago after all. But now it's time for the Kindling Festival. So let's go and deal with that. We can't go into these rooms now because, well, they've blocked off the way, which is why I wanted them items beforehand. Not that they could be missed. I could always get them later. But that's a lot of ships. Well, I suppose it is an island nation, so they should have a lot of ships, especially if there's a load of knights as well. So, off to the festival. But we've got a couple of things we can do here. One is we could go straight to the end by going this way. I don't exactly want to do that right now. I don't think. No, I can't think any reason to, because if we go this way, we should get into a bit of a scene. Yeah, I was hoping I'd see something else, but
Ah! Young Master Snow has arrived! We've been waiting for you. Here, please take this.
Now, a representative of the Gaian Marines Academy graduates will perform the Kindling Ritual. Snow Vingerhut, first son of Vincent, Lord of the village of Rosaril. This year, I shall conduct the kindling. Well, shall we go together? All you have to do is follow my lead. I feel a little awkward being the center of attention. Would you like to join me? You don't have to be so humble. It's okay. Come on.
So this kindling festival revolves all around lighting torches. Well, it is kindling, I guess. But I want to step back quickly. Because I want to go and talk to a cat. Yes, you did hear that right. I want to go and talk to a cat, which is down the bottom of this pier. Meow. And I'm going to pet it, because I get a medicine out of it. That's not exactly all I get for it, but what I get for it, other than that, is actually quite a lot later in the game, and it's not really that important. But it's something that I did want to do. Now, let's go and light some torches, shall we? So... here we go. There's this girl here. Yeah, have lots of fun at the festival. And this person is the girl's father, I'm guessing. So all we have to do is just go down the line and light the torches. One by one by one. And once that's all done, we just go through here.
And now, to celebrate the initiation of these magnificent new knights!
Yay for fireworks.
Wow. It's so beautiful. I wish that days like this could just go on forever. Forgive me. A knight should not speak from his heart so freely. Please, forget everything that I just said. Well then, what do you want to do now? Do you feel like staying and taking a look around?
Actually, yes I do. Because we've got a little something to do. Our friends are here, the Commander, Katrina, the rest of the graduates, because, well, it's their party after all as well as ours. And there's Lord Vinderhut in the background. But I don't want to speak to any of those. At least not yet. I want to go back down the alleyway. Oh, apparently we've got to talk to everyone. Okay. So, let's talk to everyone. Mango's tasty, apparently. She's an elf, so fruit, I guess, would be the best thing for her. They don't really say anything important. And yes, Snow and the main character have been together for a very long time. It's actually been, I believe he got adopted into the household. Well, not adopted, but accepted in to become, and Snow and him have become very good friends. They're very rarely separated. But I need to go back down this way and talk to a cat. Yep, I need to talk to another cat. This one's slightly bigger though. There's this cat, but that's not the one we're talking to. We're talking to this one over here. This is Cheapo. Yeah. He's an anthropomorphic cat. But he's seen a girl taken away by pirates. I think we need to save this girl. We've got to go and get some backup though. Cheapo isn't a bad person, so we can trust what he says. So let's go and get some backup and then get into our first proper battles, ones we can actually win. So back here we go. But who are we going to get as our backup? We've got 4 characters that we can choose from. Katrina and Glenn are not ones. We've got the choice of Paula, Kenneth, Tao and Jewel. The 2 I'm going to take with me are Jewel and Paula. So there we go. Jewel has a water rune on her and Paula has a wind rune, both of which are okay as it is. I probably should show the other one, other 2's runes. So let's put Tao and Kenneth in for the moment, but I will be going with Jewel and Paula. There is a reason for that. Runes. Kenneth has a lightning rune and it has Berserk Blow, which is 100 HP damage to all enemies. This is one of the most powerful attacking spells in the game, just because it does 6 damage to all enemies, and since it's a level 1 you can do it quite a good number of times later in the game. And Tao has the Earth rune, which is Clay Guardian, which increases defense for all enemies for 3 turns. It is actually very good later on. Right now I have very little defense, so it doesn't really make a huge difference, but when my defense goes up into the high 60s, it will be very, very helpful. But let's put Jewel and Paula in and get into a fight. This is going to be a bit of a long part, but that's fine. I'll probably be making it up later on with some shorter parts. It's a formation. That should do. Put the girls in the middle, main character on the top, Snow on the bottom. So everything is settled there. I actually do want to take the equipment off of Tao and Kenneth, but I'll do that between parts, I think. So we're going to go down this way, which isn't exactly as safe as the other route. There are 2 types of enemies down here. And let's see if I can get into the fight with them. No, this is one of them though. The Snobby Shrew. These have around about 21 HP. So they're not especially powerful, but I don't exactly want to take them lightly.
Let's go!
There is no real detriment to using combo attacks each turn, so feel free to spam them out. It's actually quite preferred if you do, for a reason that we'll get into a bit later. But 450 experience from that one fight. Again, remember, that isn't really a true indication. That I'll probably be able to get up to about level 4 or 5 with these fights down here before experience gets down into the 40s. So yeah. Do we have our second enemy? No. The way we're wanting to go is over there, but right now I am not quite ready for that fight to save the girl. I also got a mushroom, which is recover 1 MP for each level. That is extremely nice. But we won't be seeing too many of those for quite a while, and I believe they're special items anyway. A couple of pirates talking to a guy and soldier. So I will be back in just a moment with the other enemy that appears here, if it isn't in this fight. It is so there it is. The Thug. This has around 17 HP. He is a bit weaker than the Snobby Shrew. So, again, feel free to spam out your combo attack. There's no problem doing it. Just do it.
Let's go!
Especially if it ends the fight quicker. Although the animation does take a while. So we'll just auto the rest of this. And that should level everyone up, which it did. As you can see, everyone is back to full health. Leveling up in this game heals everyone. So if you're low on health, get a level. Or use an item. Getting a level is sometimes finicky though, it's not always guaranteed. It doesn't refill your MP though, so do be aware of that. Anyways, I'm going to spend a bit of time. I'm going to go out of here, if I can, before getting a fight. Nope. Okay, I'm out of there, so conveniently there is a save point over there which we are going to go and utilise, and I'm going to get my characters up to around about level 4, maybe 5, and I will have removed Tau and Kenneth's equipment to spread around my characters here. So until then, have a wonderful day, have lots of fun. Goodbye. Oh, hello, cheapo.